Well, guys, Ash here from the Gutters and Blues, and I hope you've all recovered from, let's be truthful, let's be frank, a game that we didn't even think was going to finish the way it did last night. We've actually beaten our noisy neighbours for the first time at home since 2010, finishing 2-0. As you heard, does it really? Obviously, it's not mathematical that we're not safe, albeit if I'm correct in saying so, if we win on Saturday, I think at most Luton would have to win all of their remaining games to really put a damage in. But would we have envisaged 6 points from those last two games? Obviously Sunday against Nottingham Forest, and then obviously last night's game at Goodison against Liverpool. No way, I wouldn't have saw that. I was just happy enough at the time to see that Ashley Young wasn't starting the game, and then I think we can give credit to every single player that put on the royal blue jersey last night, and even up to the end of the first half, where it wasn't shown right until pretty much towards the end. The way that Mikalenko fell and the way his foot bent, I don't know how he actually continued to play for the remaining minutes of that first half before then being substituted with Ashley Young, who didn't had a great game in his own right. Into a fact where I'm trying to think which it could have been Toffee TV. They turned around and said, when was there ever been a case where Mo Salah was in the pocket of two left backs in the same game, namely obviously Mikalenko in the first half and Ashley Young in the second half? Some people say that Mo Salah is finished. I don't believe so. Could you go as far as to say because he's fasting with Ramadan and stuff like that? That has to take it out of the your strengths of a game. So you can see what will happen in the coming weeks for the end of the season. You could be banging them in. Obviously, it makes it very hard for Liverpool to win the title. Now, when you look at, especially with the games that City have, obviously you never know what's going to happen this evening as Brighton take on City, and if they lose, it's all open again. It gives Arsenal a bit of a boost. Could have come down to the final weeks of the final game of the season where we go to Arsenal, and Arsenal need to win, Liverpool need to win, Man City need to win. You just don't know the way this season has turned out. But going back on ourselves, what a turnaround. I was watching before I went to work last night. I could not believe what I was actually watching. Some people say poor finishing from the parts of Darwin Nunez and Diaz, but they put fair enough. Okay, they put the ball where Jordan Pickford was, but Jordan Pickford had to be in those areas. And it's nice that for all the years that they've been slating him off with, like call them small arms, that the first goal that they conceded goes under the arms of Alisson in goal. And it was nice to see Jared Brantwaite get his first derby goal, even though Dominic Calvert-Lewin tried to steal in and take it from him, but it already crossed the line. And then what a leap for the second goal for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin of old. Some people are saying we're out to risk him for this game because some people are calling this game a free hit. I would have called this game a free hit and I would have taken the point all day long from that game, and not the way that I wouldn't go as far as say destroyed. I don't know whether Liverpool were ready for the way that they're expecting us to play. I wasn't, because obviously Garner came back into the team. Gomez went out. You're starting with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There was no Beto. So as I said, some people were calling for even Chermiti to get the nod to keep Dominic Calvert-Lewin fit because of what's coming up on Saturday. But now with that gap that we have, are we all be it safe? I'm not going to rule it, bloody fly. I'm not going to rule it just out just yet. I'll take it if we beat Brentford on the game coming up on Saturday. That is another great result. And again, one of our members, James, over there. There's a few people over there actually at the game last night. Young Michael was over there and a couple of others. But James was over there last night, did his usual photograph. He'll pop it up. You'll see it on our Facebook pages. James with his usual grin. Normally there's another chap, Connor, there beside him, but every single time James goes over, it seems to be the look and seems to bring back 3 points every time. I think I joked about it on a couple of podcasts a while back, saying let's get a GoFundMe page, fill it with money, and every single time there's a game on, send James over because he seems to bring us a good bit of luck. But it has to be a fantastic atmosphere. I could hear it just watching it on my tablet. The noise coming out of Goodison last night, that's the noise that I would expect from every game, and not just the occasional little one and the occasional step from minute one to the end. They just absolutely let roar, and most of them had to come out of there with no voices after themselves last night. Even because when I left, I had to change streams. So I was heading off into work, so I had it on my phone, and I had to switch streams, and it was Jim Beglin. Even Jim Beglin had to turn around and give us credit for the way that we play. Normally he doesn't. Even in any game that he's commentating on, he always has something narky always to say. But he had to come out and say that we totally deserved it on the night. I can't put any negatives on this game whatsoever. Maybe there was just a couple of moments where the Doucouré's choice of passes to get more players into the game, that might be the only thing. But going back to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that's what we know he can do. He held up the play. He won free kicks, won headers, and by Christ, can that man leap when he wants to. He had a chance earlier on in the game where he headed the ball straight at Alisson. So it could have been, if he headed it down, it would have made it more trickier for him to get to it. Even in the earlier parts of the game, Ben Godfrey, who came in instead of Young. Ben Godfrey comes in, and a ball comes in from Salah, and you're just waiting for them for a tap in to make it 1-0 to Liverpool, and Godfrey was there. And that's what he does have. I thought, I've said it before, I thought because he had the long COVID that he had really lost a lot of the speed. But since he's been coming in and out of the side, he's obviously had, coaching or training, and he's developed his body again and got that speed back. And he is one of the quickest players at that, and he was brilliant again last night. Jared Brantwaite, apart from the goal, was absolutely brilliant. James Tarkowski was brilliant. Everyone on that pitch put in their shift. As I said, even Ashley Young when he came on. Harrison was much better, especially defensively. He did take on that side of the pitch a couple of times with not lovely touches. Some of them, came off perfectly. Others, he might lose the ball. But was Idrissa Gana Gueye or James Garner was there to steal the ball back, win the ball back, and they were forced to everything. They won the second ball every time, and I just. Yes, would this be enough, if we survive for Sean Dyche to keep his job going into next season? I really don't know, because you can't just base it on one game. But the bottom, if we put in a heart and soul into that kind of game, that's a huge difference to what we did on Sunday against Nottingham Forest. Yes, there was some of those contentious decisions. First two, maybe not so much, but the third one, I will say that was I don't know how that wasn't a penalty for Forest. That's if that was the other end, we will be screaming, and I will be effing and bliming on a video here on the podcast, making a big deal over it. The way Nottingham Forest have gone about it now is so funny, going on an official page, whereas usually people like myself who do the content and other guys like Cam on Mighty Blues. Actually, go and watch Cam on Mighty Blues. He's over the moon. Even Mike from the Blue Boys Network, he was doing his video when he got back home at 2:00 this morning. On Toffee TV, the guy was Ped was doing his player ratings, and I think one chap came on and said that he dozed off when it started, and he woke up and Ped was still going. I've only watched bits and pieces of it. I was actually watching the highlights on the phone and listening to TalkSport this morning. And the funny thing is, they were talking just literally at the 10:00 news came on. They were talking. It was all about Jurgen Klopp, all about Liverpool. What's going to happen? What's going to happen here? Who's going to be next? Where does it leave them? And one guy at 10:15 a.m. put in a post on the page, basically saying, hello, Everton won. When are you going to talk about Everton? And Jim White was like, hang on there, it's only 10:15. We'll be with you in a few minutes. So I've turned that off, and obviously I've done this video now, but I just can't believe it. And if someone had said to me that we take 4 points from the two games, I would have jumped on that. If somebody said to take 6 points, you would be saying, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Going back on, are we safe? Let's do it on Saturday, and let's put, mathematically, we will be safe, because that's what it's going to come down to. I don't think it's just there just yet. There's some strange results. Like, look what happened last night. I was watching the game. The latest score comes in, and Sheffield United were beating Man United. Then they went 1-1. Then Sheffield United took the lead, and in the end, they obviously lost 4-2. I actually thought it finished 2-2 until I saw the results this morning. So I had to look and see what other games are on today. But it's in our own hands now. It's always been in our own hands since the points deduction. And it's a huge, huge way to come back after that absolutely mauling by Chelsea on that Monday. I'm kind of trying to make this up as I go along because I'm really, really lost for words, even still now. Even one of the lads at work was trying to ring me last night while I was busy, and I just couldn't pick up the phone. I saw his number on the screen. I just couldn't pick up the phone. I was wanted just to put the phone down and say, look, call me back. Because he says he's an Everton supporter. I think he supports Arsenal, really. But that's a lad that I work with, Connor. Like, if I asked him to name the Everton squad, he'd probably still tell me Gary Lineker's playing for them. That's how much of an Everton fan he is. But we're all blue in some way, aren't we, really? So, yeah, and a good crowd in Matters last night. Lovely photographs up there. And what can we say? A shock result, but a deserved result. And we'll take it from there. And can we make a 3 from 3? And even the whole thing about Sean Dyche still being in the tracksuit. He wore a tracksuit for the Nottingham Forest game. He wore a tracksuit for last night, and now people are going to be calling for him to wear a tracksuit again at Goodison on Saturday. But you can kind of feel the pressure slowly coming off us now as we enter the final weeks of the season. And okay, come on, let's just be saying that. Unless we do something ridiculously stupid, the Toffees are safe and have our position kept in the Premier League for next season. Leave it there, guys. Man the match, I think you could give it to everyone, even on Toffee TV. He was giving everyone nearly 10. He even said, you can see where this is going, 10, 10, 10. He even gave Chermiti a 7, even though he was only on the pitch for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I think I'd have to give it to Dominic Calvert-Lewin just because it was Dominic Calvert-Lewin of old. He didn't even want to come on. At the end, he just wanted to stay on the pitch and soak up that win. And, you know what, I'll actually give credit. I didn't hear the full interview from Jurgen Klopp, but there was a cheeky grin on it. Actually, Van Dijk didn't like this. There was a cheeky grin. It wasn't Van Dijk, sorry. Was it Van Dijk? No, it wasn't Van Dijk. It was Jamie Carragher, I think it was, on Sky. After the second goal went in, the camera panned on to Jurgen Klopp. There was a cheeky smile on his face, as if to say, like, you know, this is my last derby, and look what's happening. The commentary guys really did find it hard to just pretty much say we deserve it. But until you actually go back and you really watch the highlights of the game, they did it. They said it all in their commentary. They kind of didn't really give it all full force to everything at the end. It was all still about the noisy neighbours and how they possibly thrown away the league title, and not a fact that Everton have more or less cemented their place in the Premier League next season. But the most important thing is we've taken 3 points from a game we weren't expecting to take 3 points from, and let's roll on to Saturday and keep it going. And a similar performance, if we can put in that same effort, if the crowd could put in that similar effort, it'll get us over the line and get a very big result against Brentford. And that's it done, guys, really. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll also have a podcast version up on Spotify in the next while, so tune in and listen to that as well. But till then, thanks for watching, and up the Toffees.